Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful, blessed day today so far. Today we are excited to make Uriah's 7-month update video for you guys. What are you doing? He's so cute. This is my guy. This is my son Uriah. If this is your very first time watching one of my videos, this is my son Uriah. He is 7 months old. He is my one and only baby right now. But he is amazing, and I love making these videos because I know we're gonna look back on them someday and just see how much he's grown, and I just want to remember these milestones that we're vlogging and stuff. So, you excited? He's like, Mom, who are you talking to? Yeah, you. Okay, well, let's get started. Without further ado, let's just get in the video. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to his 7-month update is teething. So 7 months has been the month of the teething. So he's always kind of teethed a little bit here and there, but I've really noticed a huge increase in teething. I've definitely seen him more in pain. He's always grabbing his gums, and he's always grabbing his ears. And for the longest time, I thought, well, maybe he has an ear infection. And I finally Googled it because he had gone to the doctor and he said his ears were all clear. So I Googled it, and sure enough, a lot of babies, when they're teething, that pain tends to feel like it's coming from their jaw, which is right kind of connected to their ear. So if your baby's ever pulling on their ears or batting their ears or hitting their ears, it's usually because of the teething pain. So he's been grabbing his ears a ton, and it's just been teething. I feel so bad for him when he is, because I can't really do very much. And the one thing that is kind of sad is the fact that I have so many teething toys for him now, and especially when he's in the throes of teething really hard, he doesn't want the teething toys. He loves to play with them any other time, but if he's really in a lot of pain, he doesn't want to play with them. He won't chew on them. In fact, he just cries more, and I feel so helpless. I'll put them in the freezer to make them cold. I've even heard about putting, my mother-in-law told me, about hot washcloth, giving him kind of like a warm hot washcloth to chew on. And you know what? He is not a fan of anything like when he's teething. So he's kind of, what are you doing, Bubba? He's kind of just all over the place when it comes to teething. So yeah, it's been, he's trying to crawl to the camera. No, that's not for you. But yes, so teething has definitely been a struggle. He doesn't have teeth yet, but I mean, we all think they're gonna come soon, right? We just don't know when. But he's just been teething a ton in this 7-month time frame. And like I said, he's not always a fan of teething toys. So if you have any kind of recommendations, go ahead and comment down below any recommendations for helping with teething pain. I haven't used any gels on his gums or anything. I've kind of been letting him go all natural and just kind of go on his own with it. But if you guys have any recommendations, please tell me. But other than that, I guess that's pretty much it. The one thing that is kind of a blessing though is his teething only comes at like a few days at a time. So it'll be like maybe 3 or 4 days where he's like in a lot of pain, and maybe it affects his sleep a little bit because he'll wake up a little bit more during the night. But I mean, other than that, it kind of will be fine for another 2 weeks. And then maybe there's a cluster of a couple of days where he teethes really hard, but there's kind of breaks in between. So it's definitely manageable, but definitely a month of the teething. That's for sure. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is how Uriah is eating right now. So he is breastfed. I still breastfeed even now at 7 months, which I feel blessed to be able to say that. It's been a long journey, and I'm gonna make a video on that eventually when I feel like more comfortable about it. But I still breastfeed him all the time. He eats about every 2.5 hours for breast milk. And other than that, I do give him food now. So he's still kind of stuck on stage 1 like baby puree. So sweet potato, apple, banana, but just kind of single food purees right now. No. He wants to get the camera. He wants to get you guys. Huh. But he's kind of stuck on the single food purees right now. And I've been on that for about like maybe a little bit over a month. So I've just kind of been introducing him to that slowly but surely. But I have been trying to introduce kind of like some stage 2 foods and combination purees. So something with like apple kiwi, or, you know, like a berry mix, or, you know, whatever. Just kind of giving him different types of foods in a puree, so like it's a combination. But he has not been a fan, and not because he doesn't think it's delicious, because he does, but it hurts his tummy, and he tends to not be able to digest that as well, and he has a hard time using the bathroom. And so food has kind of been an interesting struggle. Like I said, he's still completely breastfed, and I breastfeed him all day, but in between feeds, I do give him single purees. His favorite food is sweet potatoes by a long shot. He has tried butternut squash, which he liked for a while, bananas, carrots, apples, and so I've given him lots of different types of foods, and I kind of transition them like one after another. After he's kind of been eating one for a while, I'll transition. So yeah, I mean, sweet potatoes are his favorite by far. So you love them, the sweet potatoes, huh? You love them. So that's kind of how he's been eating right now. If you guys also have any advice about transitioning to stage 2 foods, or even like little solids, I do give him little chunks of banana sometimes. I also freeze grapes, and I cut them up really small and skin them, and he really likes those. So he does kind of eat little like chunks of solids as well throughout the day as like a snack, but as far as main food, it's still breast milk and a little bit of baby food in there. So we're kind of working on that transition. Please, mamas, give me all your comments, give me all your advice. I'm ready to hear it. All right, so let's talk about how he is sleeping. So as far as sleep goes, Uriah sleeps all the way through the night. He goes to bed around 8:30. He's starting to wake up a little bit earlier now. He's like starting to wake up around like 5:30 or 6. And I usually just come and get him and kind of lay in bed with him and kind of breastfeed him in bed. And we kind of have a morning cuddle time, which I've actually really been cherishing. Bless you! Is that it? But yeah, but he sleeps all the way through the night. He might get up and cry just once. All I had to do is come in, give him his binky, and kind of just tell him that time to go to bed, and he goes to bed. So he sleeps really good all the way through the night. I do have a sleep training video that I made a couple months ago when he was 4 months, because he was completely sleep trained by then. But you know what? I definitely recommend that you guys watch it if you guys are curious about sleep training. And I do have some different like information about sleep training in the description of that video if my, you know, way of doing things didn't really like mesh with how you feel like what would work with your family. So you go ahead and just watch that video. I'll link it above, and I'll link it down below as well. But yeah, go ahead and give that a look if you are having some trouble sleep training, because he sleeps great. So we're definitely happy about that. But he sleeps great. The only thing that I will say about sleeping at 7 months is whenever he is teething really badly, I have noticed that it affects his sleep. He wakes up more at night, and I go in and he's pulling on his ears again. So, I mean, if your baby is teething and waking up more in the middle of the night, so is he. So don't be discouraged. And other than that, he goes to sleep, like goes right back to sleep. It's not really a big deal, but it definitely has affected his sleeping patterns. So yeah. Huh. Because teething sucks. We don't like teething. Huh. Also, going off of the whole sleeping thing, as far as naps go, he definitely sleeps at least 2 times a day for a nap. But I've noticed that they kind of have gotten shorter. So he used to nap for maybe around 2 hours, maybe at least an hour and a half, and now they're like about an hour. Like, he wants to definitely sleep less. So because they're shorter, I make sure that he tries to take around 3 naps a day. So I make sure that he naps at least like 3 times a day now. just because I noticed that the duration of his naps have just kind of shortened. So at least 2, hopefully 3 of at least an hour long is kind of the goal, but every day it doesn't always go that way. So a little bit unpredictable, but that's kind of the goal at least. All right, so the one thing that I'm super excited to talk about today is Uriah is crawling. So it kind of took him a while to start crawling. He would always get so close and, you know, man, he would get so close to crawling and he would kind of wobble and move and get on all fours, and then he would just kind of flop right to his belly. And now he doesn't. Now he crawls all over the place and I'm always running after him and he's always getting into things. But, you know, he was crawling a little bit here and there, but now as far as like him being super curious and like crawling everywhere, wanting to get into everything, you know, like always wanted to go off and do his own thing, that's new. And so I love just being able to see him like explore and run after him over and over and over and over again. So I don't know, I've just been really loving him crawling and moving. He just has a newfound curiosity for things, and he's kind of just developing new quirks, like new things that he really likes. Like he always wants to go to the kitchen, or he really loves to get my shoes off the shoe rack. And he's just been doing his own thing. He's just a little like wiggle worm, and he's just always wanted to do things his own way and just discovering new things. And so that's been one of my favorite parts of the whole 7-month like part of his life right now, is just discovering new things and being able to watch it and be a part of it. So yeah, my little guy's officially crawling and it's so precious to watch. Now, kind of going off of the whole crawling thing, I want to talk to you guys about playtime. So his playtime has definitely changed now that he's up and moving and crawling around. So, you know, he's not just staying at his playmat and playing with like toys traditionally as he used to. Now he'll maybe be at the playmat for like 1 minute or so, and after 1 minute he's like ready to come back to me and you know, crawl around and discover new things, you know. So rather than, you know, every time he leaves I just pick him up and put him back at the playmat, I'm letting him explore, because I think in general that is playtime, you know, that he doesn't have to have a toy in his hand for him to be playing. So I kind of am letting him discover things. So as long as he's being supervised by my husband or I kind of want to see like him crawl around and discover things as much as he possibly can. So if he wants to crawl around, I'm doing dishes, but I can kind of see him and he's like, I can watch him and see what he's doing and make sure he's not getting into anything that's unsafe. He's fine. So I kind of just let him crawl around and do his own thing. And yeah. He's just been really enjoying his newfound playtime. Just not traditional like how it used to be. It's just his playtime's evolving with how he's evolving. So, it is definitely more difficult for me, because it's hard for me to get things done, because I'm definitely giving him more attention as he's playing, because I don't want him to get into anything. So, yeah. Now, one thing that I will go ahead and talk about is his favorite toy. And his favorite toy right now is this bad boy. Where are you going? You come here. You come here. See, he loves this thing. He loves being able to like just knock it over and see all the rings go everywhere, and he just wants to chew on them and play with them, and he's just been like loving this little toy. So that's his favorite toy right now, but it changes pretty often. So, but right now he's even playing with it. So that's his favorite toy right now. One thing that definitely changed between 6 and 7 months is he went through a phase, and it was really hard. It was like probably 2 or 3 weeks where he wants to be held all of the time. All the time. And he would get super attached to where if I would sit him down and then walk away to go do the dishes or to do any cleaning or to do any editing, even though I would be literally like almost this close, like he'd be sitting right here, he could touch me if he wanted to, you know, I'd be so close to him, but if I'm not holding him, he would throw a fit. And that's kind of a tough situation to be in, because, you know, I understand he just wants to be comforted, but at the same time, I want to make sure that he understands that he can have individual playtime as well. And so I really would kind of honor him by, you know, staying close by. So I wouldn't hold him all the time, even though I definitely would cuddle him because he was needing cuddles. But rather than holding him all the time, because it's impractical, I can't, I would make sure that I was really close by. So if I'm washing dishes, he'd be right next to me on the ground, like, you know, or make sure that he was just in like really close vicinity to me. It was really comforting to him, and it kind of helped us get through that transition pretty fast. And he kind of has days where he wants to be held more than others, but that's definitely a tip that I would offer to that's definitely a tip that I would offer to moms, is that if your baby does want to be held all the time, you know, you don't have to hold them all the time. Definitely hold them and comfort them, and, you know, they're just trying to bond. They're so bonded with you. They want to be with you all the time. There's nothing really wrong with that. But, you know, if it's getting to be a struggle, then I would definitely say that, you know, it's okay. As long as, you know, he's sitting right next to you, even if he cries, as long as you're close by, it kind of was comforting him enough to where he was able to start crawling and do his own thing, and he was able to kind of separate and have his own individual playtime. So that was definitely a hard transition, is him wanting to be held all the time. And now I can't hold him at all because he's so... Come here. Come here. Oh, so close. Yeah, you... So another exciting thing is he said his first word. So Uriah says dada, which is what I call my husband, his dad. I just say, you want to go see dada? Like, oh, like I say dada all the time. And finally he's been able to say that, and that's, for a while, that's all he said. But it's definitely getting to the point now where when he sees his dad, when he sees Dom, he says dada. Like, I think he knows who dada is, and he says it, and he realizes what that means. So that's the first word that he actually is saying where he knows what he's saying. He knows that that's dada. And he's looking at me right now like, dada? Dada's not home right now. He's getting all excited. But he loves that word. He says it all the time. But that's his first word at 7 months. Dada. Put it in the books. Say dadas. But that's just like another thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these milestones of crawling and saying his first word, he's just blowing my mind. It's so crazy. But the last thing I want to talk about is just like the beauty of seeing your baby come into their own. Like, one thing that I've noticed about him is just developing little quirks that, you know, it's just so purely Uriah. Things that are just his personality, things that... Come here, Uriah. Come here. It's just something that is so like beautiful to watch. Just see him coming into his own. Come here. He's able to come to me now if I go like this. I go, come here. Come here. Grab my hand. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think one of my favorite quirks that he does is now that he's like eating food, before he would just kind of gulp it down and eat it like no problem, and now he eats his food so weird. He like sticks his tongue out. I don't know what's going on. I can't even describe it. I will literally have to just put it like up on the screen because I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the cutest thing ever. And now he eats like that like all the time, and I just don't get it. And he has like new sounds. Like he almost like clucks like a chicken at times. What's wrong? Sometimes he'll like cluck like a little chicken, and it is like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It's too funny. It's just too much. I just love seeing him like become his own little person and have his own little personality. So yeah, I think that's kind of it. We talked about, you know, eating, sleeping, naps, playtime, teething, crawling, first words. So other than that, I try to keep this video as short as possible. Those are just some major milestones. Moms, if you have any advice about anything that I said, please go ahead and share that down below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I am still fairly new to YouTube, but I'm loving this platform and I've just been loving, you know, creating content, and I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel if you want to become part of the family. So other than that, we love you. Say bye, Raya. Say bye. Can you say bye? Bye. Bye-byes. Alright, you guys, we love you. Thank you so much for supporting us. Have a wonderful, blessed day. God bless you, and hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.